As parents and teachers, it's possible to reach a point of frustration with our kids and students that becomes unproductive. There is one thing that leads parents and teachers to be frustrated with students. Today, we're going to talk about what that one thing is and develop some ideas to address it. Before we jump into it, make sure to like, follow, and comment if you enjoyed. And make sure to check out our other TenneyTube video here, where we discuss what to look for to decide if you need to make a school change. So, we're talking about this topic of why, as parents and teachers, we get frustrated with our students. We'd like to boil this down to one simple reason. But before we can do that, we need to first define a few terms we're going to use: student potential and student performance. Student potential describes the academic capability of a student. No two students are the same, but some learn more quickly than others. School may be easier for students with more academic potential. Some students with less potential may struggle or have to work harder to learn. In general, student potential does not change significantly over time. Student performance is the second thing that we want to define here. This is the measure of how well a student actually performs in school. The most obvious way we measure this is by grades, but you could also see how conduct scores, test scores, or other measures could determine student performance. Now that we've defined student potential and student performance, let's get to the meat of this discussion. The one thing that leads parents and teachers to be frustrated with the student is when the student's learning performance is significantly below his or her learning potential. We don't get frustrated with students who struggle to learn when they are learning at the speed and depth they are capable of. Often the students who are the most frustrating are the ones with the most unmet potential. Now, that's one cause of why teachers and parents get frustrated with students, but there are many reasons that could lead to this cause. Students with poor work ethic is perhaps the most common reason student performance will not meet their potential. Sometimes this is caused by laziness, but sometimes it's caused by a form of executive functioning deficit. Sometimes students' performance is below their potential because they're inconsistent. This could be because of poor attendance or poor support at home, or more these days, we're seeing anxiety create inconsistency for students at school. To ease the frustrations for some teachers and parents feel about this, it's important to first recognize that this is the source of your frustration. You're hoping for more for your child than they're actually achieving. This is a good thing. To ease these frustrations as much as possible, you should try to give them credit for the students where the circumstances are beyond their control. Students cannot control their home life or the innate executive functioning skills. Work ethic certainly comes easier to some students than others, so you could even argue that work ethic is somewhat beyond a student's control. Even in situations where students are clearly capable of performing better academically, it's important to recognize that academic performance is only one path to a fulfilling life. There are many other paths to a fulfilling life. Many students who do not reach their academic potential will find other avenues for success. For parents and teachers who find themselves frustrated by students performing below his or her potential, a smaller educational environment are a great option to consider. These schools can often feature customizable curriculum which will allow teachers to better see the growth in the students. To conclude, it can be very frustrating for parents and teachers to work with students when his or her learning performance is below their learning potential. In these cases, make sure to give students a break when the reasons for their difference is beyond his or her control. Even if you think that it's within the student's control to perform better at school, keep in mind that academic performance is only one way to attain the fulfilling life that you are hoping your students will find. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of TenneyTube. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Be sure to also hit that bell icon to be notified anytime that we go live with a new video.